Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles Freight Terminal, trailers are being loaded with general cargo for many cities throughout the West. Shipments for these loads are picked up by a fleet of city trucks, which gathers freight of all descriptions from hundreds of shippers. This local service is the first step in the door-to-door delivery of freight made possible by the motor truck. Returning to the terminal in the late afternoon, freight brought by the pickup trucks is carefully checked, sorted, and loaded in one continuous operation into numerous line haul trailers, all headed for different destinations. Nowhere is America's productive abundance so apparent as at a large freight terminal, where one can see a whole parade of the nation's goods: lawnmowers, cosmetics, dresses, canned goods, automobile tires, the full catalog of American industry. Oftentimes, well over 100 shipments must be funneled into one trailer, where a loading specialist carefully stows boxes and crates, bags and barrels, freight of all sizes and shapes, so that it all makes a tightly knit load for a smooth ride to destination. Even as the last freight is being loaded, the line driver has picked up his trip papers. They tell him which tractor or power unit to take, the number of his trailer, nature of his cargo, the destination, and the highway route he will follow. The dispatcher has assigned Carl Martin to make this run. Two instruments provide Martin with a minute-by-minute record of his complete trip. One, the tachograph, measures and records on a waxed-faced chart his engine RPMs. The other, called a speedograph, scribes on a second chart the distance traveled, speed of the truck, and the duration of his stops. Long practice has given Martin a sharp eye in hooking up his rig. As you can see, it takes more than a novice to line up the coupling device, the fifth wheel on the tractor, with a 2-inch kingpin under the trailer. You can't be a truck driver for long without becoming a pretty fair mechanic to boot. Not only must the line driver be well acquainted with the performance of his 200 horsepower engine, but he must be capable of making emergency roadside repairs. He has to know how to hook up his air brake and electrical connections, the lifelines to his trailer, and have a knowledge of how they work. Before departing, he follows a regular routine, raising the landing gear and checking tires. There are 18 of them under his care, a sizable investment at $150 each. Then, with a check of reflectors, lights, and the truck's safety devices, his inspection will be finished. Although mechanics had checked the truck on its arrival, Martin double-checks, leaving nothing to chance. In all, the rig will be inspected 12 times before it reaches Spokane. Thus, the experienced driver has developed a sort of sixth sense for safety, for his is a job of much responsibility. Because safety is such a factor in highway transport, special regulations of the government and his employer require that the freight driver periodically take a physical examination. Here he must pass minimum standards set by the Interstate Commerce Commission. Of course, these are in addition to the tests he must pass to obtain a chauffeur's license in his home state. Martin also regularly takes a battery of special psychophysical tests. The reactometer measures his reaction time while he is occupied keeping a model car on the road. The top dial indicates the time it takes him to release the throttle. The lower dial, how long it takes to apply the brake. An eye test on the telebinocular critically measures as many as 6 different phases of Martin's visual acuity. A device to test his depth perception tells Carl how accurate he is in judging the varying distances between his truck and other moving objects on the road. Still other tests measure his side vision and headlight glare recovery, which, plus a written examination on the rules of the road, provide the driver with a complete picture of his strong and weak points. On the job, these tests add up to greater highway safety and more dependable service to shippers and receivers of freight.